Hello, lovelies. Oh, I might have to readjust my phone. I've got a new phone and it's a completely different size to my normal one. And now it's on some wonky ankle. Let me just see. I don't know if I can reach forward and fix it up a bit. Hang on a second. You're going to get a really good look. Oh, God, look at the colour of my eyes under there. Really good look up close as I just adjust it a little bit. I think that might be better. Ah, that's better. My head's not chopped off. Hooray! Hooray! Gorgeous ones, gorgeous ones. Ah, that's a lesson for you. So, on the weekend, I dropped my phone. I know, I should have had it in a container, but honestly, it's such an old phone that I couldn't be bothered. And I think secretly part of me was wanting to drop it because on Friday, I went to the Telstra shop all ready to buy a new phone and I forgot my ID and I thought, I'll go Saturday, and then I couldn't. Then it was raining, and then Sunday came, and then Sunday I dropped my phone. So yesterday I had to rush in and get one during lunchtime because I cannot operate without my phone. And so here I am. So maybe it's the new phone because honestly, lovelies, I have literally just got dressed. I've been schlepping around all day in the hoodie. And I thought, I'll just put on a bit of something or rather brush my hair. And I think it's the phone. It's making me vibrant. Who knew? So tonight, my loves, as you know, I love to cook something, real food, real fast. And I've realised I can't actually follow a recipe. If I try and follow a recipe, I miss half the steps out. And I always look at a recipe and go, I'll just do this to it and make it a little bit different. So tonight I am basing my cooking tonight on a thermo foodie recipe, and it's the recent Risotto, but I'm not actually cooking it in the thermi. Sorry, darling, I've actually got sitting here because this phone now, it's a little bit smaller, and the comments just zip by, and I'm like, la, 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 la. So I can see myself over here. Oh, I can even watch my live video. What I'm hoping to do is turn the sound down. Oh, look at that. God, I've managed to do it. Hooray, hooray. Oh, I've even seen myself on the side. So any chance you can teach us how to make milk, kefir and yogurt in your cooking show? Why not? Why not, Joanne? Why? Why the hell not? I'm sure I can do that. I'll do it next week. Tonight I'm doing Risotto, and I looked at the thermi recipe and thought, yeah, I could do all that in my thermi, but then I thought, but what if you don't have a thermi? And as you know, my Tuesday nights are like the emergency cooking night. So this is the sort of food that you cook when your brain says, I don't want to cook this, I just want to have takeaway. This is so fast. It's so fast that there is no reason to order takeaway. It is the fastest thing on earth. And as you know, real food, real fast. So I've got a few shortcuts for you. Now, the first part of this recipe uses, oh my God, get off. That is the cat. Get off. So embarrassing. So I had the cats all shut away, and one of my cats, seriously, she's like possessed. She can open doors. She fits through. She's got some sort of secret cat power. She's probably going to, if I fall over, it'll be the cat. I've done that before. You've seen me all claw. As I stepped back once and didn't fall on the bloody cat. Anyway, let me start. I'm banging on. So tonight's recipe is based on, remember the whole TikTok thing that was on about last year, and it was the feta in the oven? The feta in the oven with tomatoes. Well, I know my cats and their cameo appearance, they're hilarious. So tonight I've put in the oven already, I actually put a slab of goat's cheese because I really like the goat's cheese. I put goat's cheese, I put in a thing of cherry tomatoes, and I put in some mushrooms, drizzled it all in a whole big wad of olive oil, and I flung in a bit of mingle. Now it's so interesting, the mingle flavourings, because some I really like, and I'm a tiny bit obsessed with this one, which is the za'atar. I don't know what it is about it, I just like it. I was thinking, the Greek's going to be too overpowering because the protein for this dish is bacon. But then I decided there wasn't quite enough protein in it because I really like the protein, so I've added in some chicken. I thought, really? I'm doing this kind of Risotto. I could have added in some prawns and some chorizo and turned it into a Risotto paella. Who knows? The thing is that you can do whatever you want because you're the boss. So basically, I'm just going to turn on my fryer. Not my fryer. I've got a pan tonight. I've got a giant thing of this. So I happen to have my, what do you call this thing? Induction cooktop here. And so I'm just going to turn that on, heat it up, or heat. And of course, so I'm whacking in just a blob of olive oil. I thought I got some butter out, but I can't find it, so it doesn't matter. You can, if you've got butter, you can put butter. And I've got to get, I should have done this last week. I've got to get rid of this stupid, you know, pouring device. So annoying. Then, I'm sure that most of you who are watching, but in case there's some newbies from our 7-day no sugar challenge, frozen onions are the life-saving event of my life. I haven't cut an onion now in a couple of years. And 2 reasons. One, I hate cutting onions. I've cut my fingers before, my eyes cry, and I just go, ugh. If it was red onion, I'd cut red onion, but just the onion for your Risotto, I'm just whacking these in. Of course, feel free to chop your own onion. You don't have to buy frozen onion, but this is quick. So, oh, I'm just gonna grab a spoon. I'll be back in a sec, and while I'm there, I'm just gonna quickly check on my thingy. You'll be pleased to know that the cheese and the tomato is looking fabulous. So I've just got a little, what do you call this thing, silicone spoon, bit of a chip chop here. So now I am going to refer vaguely to the recipe so I don't miss anything out. But as I said, I've had a bit of a look and thought, yeah, I reckon this is a really good recipe, but I'll probably do it a little bit differently. Just whack it in, a blob of this, a blob of that. I know, and I know that every now and then, like sometimes I do make something and I don't fiddle with the recipe. If it's like a cake or something, but when it's something like this, I just think, oh, I'll just do a bit of this, bit of that. So what I'm gonna do is cut a bit of bacon off. So again, you know, get whatever bacon you like, but try to get one that's got the least processing in it. This hasn't got any, you know, nitrates or maple syrup, yada yada, or anything like that. It's just, this one's from the butcher, just a shortcut. Luckily, my butcher had some free range, because I do think that we should be nice to pigs. And if we're gonna eat them, they need to live happy life before that. So then I just give that a bit of a stir, and then I'll just get my chicken out. Now I always get the thighs, I don't know, I like the thighs, they've got a little bit more fat in them, and they just stay a bit more tender when you're cooking stuff. But not from the butcher. I've got a couple of things to, oh, huzzah, here's the butter. Who knew? Oh well, in fact I can probably whack a bit of that in. I'll just grab a clean knife. Just putting the butter in for flavour, really. So basically I've got butter, a little bit of olive oil. I don't know how much bacon I put in, maybe a couple of 100 grams, 200, 300 grams of bacon, and I've put in maybe 600 grams of chicken thighs. And again, you don't have to cut them neatly. Chicken's very forgiving. So this is my protein, chicken and bacon, a little bit of fat. The chicken here is reasonably lean, there's no skin or anything on it. So you can be a bit more generous with the fat. In particular, this bacon wasn't very fatty. If it was streaky bacon, then I probably wouldn't put the oil and the butter in. Good. Just give this a bit of a stir. Looking good. Steaming. All right, whacking in our chicken. the next shortcut, so remember, this is what you're cooking when you come home. It's 6 o'clock at night, you can't be asked cooking, but your brain, because my brain, it does this. It says, oh, I don't want to cook, and then it goes, just cook. Okay, because again, what are your options? Every time you're tired, you get takeaway. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm tired quite a lot by 6 o'clock, and I'm not getting takeaway every time I'm tired. So what I need is a collection of easy peasy, no-brainer recipes, and this is going to be one of them. So again, certainly you could do this in your thermi. It's really very simple to do that, but you don't have to, because my second favorite ingredient, cauliflower rice. Now this is perfect for when cauliflowers are like $12, or if you just need emergency cauliflower in your freezer. Because every now and then, and I've done this, you buy some cauliflower, you don't get around to cooking it, it gets all that brown bit, you have to sort of snip all of that off, and by the time you cook with it, you're basically cooking with a bunch of stalks. Now, having said that, I am cooking, I am growing cauliflowers in our garden, and I suspect I'm going to be inundated because I got a bit excited and going, oh, I'll get the mini ones, oh, I'll get the maxi ones. So, like a, you know, all gardens, they all kind of come to fruition at once. So I'll probably have about 22 cauliflowers to deal with. But what I can do with them is rice them, basically mush them up, stick them in a bag and pop them in the freezer and have my own made cauliflower mash. So this stuff's really good. I'm just bashing it because it needs to be bashed, you know, to be broken up before you put it in. Now, it says on the instructions, microwave it. Don't microwave it unless you want stinky cauliflower mush. It is much better pan fried in some butter, or in this case, our risotto. So basically, I'm just giving this a bit of time to cook. I don't want raw chicken in my risotto. And so the ingredients in this, just so that you know again, we've got, I reckon I put in about 1/4 of a packet of diced onions. So maybe 100 grams. 125 grams of chopped up onions. I'll probably put in 2 packets of this stuff. You can just do one, whatever you want. You're the boss. Half a kilo of chicken thighs and about 300 grams of bacon. And yes, I think, and then we're just going to wait for that to cook in the oven. I've just plopped on a tray a thing of cherry tomatoes, I chopped up some mushrooms, sprayed on some olive oil with a big wad of goat cheese, and I've used this for flavour because I really like this. It's a tangy one, and I thought this would go nicely with the goat's cheese. The goat's cheese, I didn't want it to be overpowered by a big, you know, sort of Greek herby thing or anything like that, but I thought the goat's cheese will be nice. Then we're going to bring it all together with, ta-da, what have I got? Some Parmesan, and I've left my cream in the fridge, but I'll get it on my way to go and get the goat's cheese stuff out of the oven. So this is going beautifully. I'll just sneak back over here and see if there's any Facebook comments that I've missed. Oh, Kerry gets the cauliflower rice out early. No need to bash it and it gets cooked quicker. That's probably a good tip, Kerry. Okie dokie. So who's watching and who's doing, of the watchers, who's doing the 7-day no sugar challenge? And what I'd love to know is how you're finding it. Good. This is looking good. A few more minis. Again, no one wants raw chill. Kerry, does it go watery when you do that? Yes, that would be one of my questions, because I like the idea when you cook it from frozen, it sort of evaporates the water at the same time. But yes, there is a little bit of bashing involved if it has been, if it's been allowed to get soft in the transit. Okay, lots of people doing 7 days. So far, so good. Also cooking as I watch. Wonderful. Susan's doing no sugaring. All good. Fabulous. Going well. Excellent. Good. That's what I like to hear. Beautiful. And Louise has added in no alcohol. And Joanne says it's very good. Good. Joanne, while you're on the, while you're watching, so in the no sugar challenge, there's 2 hypnosis sessions. One of them, so hypnosis is the concept of putting you into a very relaxed trance-like state. So, you know, we actually go in and out of trances all the time. People don't, that word trance feels sort of a bit woo-woo, but honestly, have you ever been somewhere and you've sort of drifted off and then you come back and go, oh, that's a trance. If you've ever watched kids watching telly and they're like this, that's a trance. So we spend a lot of time putting ourselves in and out of trances. So the whole idea with hypnosis, we get you very relaxed, you go into this beautiful trance-like state, we do the magic, and then we wake you up. Except, we always provide 2 sessions, one with the wake up and one with nothing. The nothing is where, so you can sleep. Because obviously, if you're doing these as you drift off to sleep, which is a perfectly valid thing to do, you don't want to be hearing me going, waking up now, waking up, getting ready, eyes sparkling, wide awake. You do not want that. You just want nice and relaxed, nice and calm, keeping it lovely. So good, this is looking good. Good, bacon, a few bits of raw chook still. I'll just keep stirring. Somebody's doing aqua, Clara's doing aqua. Amazing how the carb creep is. It's only when you do a little reset, absolutely, Clara. So this is the whole thing. And you realise, and this is part of the reason we've done a 7-day challenge, because everyone goes, oh yeah, I can do 7 days. The idea is you make the change small enough that any resistance your brain might offer you, which it will, seems ridiculous when you're going, well, it's only 7 days. Whereas if you said, I'm never having sugar again, ever, ever, your brain goes, oh my God, I'm not doing that. And so it feels like it's just very much a bridge too far. So we make the bridge small. Oh, Heather's lost sound. Can everyone else hear me? Because I am bellowing my little lungs out. Caroline can hear. It must be just you, Heather. Sorry, darling. Maybe every now and then, if I'm holding my phone, I click the down thing. It's sort of ridiculous. And once I was at a function and I was carrying my phone around. I had had a couple of drinks, I will admit. And I'm carrying it around, having a little bit of dance off. And I realised I had held the 2 buttons together that are the emergency button. And so I'm sending these emergency messages to my hubby who wasn't at the function. And I'm going, And later on, he sort of texts me, are you all right? I go, oh, yeah, I'm fine. So yes, always just be careful that, you haven't just put your buttons down. All right, this chicken bacon looking good. So now I'm just going to whack in the risotto. The risotto. Again, you can, my sound's much better with the new phone. Good to hear. Sound, vision, everything's better. My old phone was very old. I was being very stubborn. It was like, 4 years old, which is old in phone technology. Oh, just realised in my enthusiasm there, I've just sprinkled cauliflower all over the bench. But anyway, is what it is. So I'm actually just going to pop the lid on a bit for that. The other thing I'm going to do before it gets too steamy is I'm just going to put a bit of sand in. The cauliflower rice is bird's eye. I might actually just put one in. I'm having a look, it's quite a lot. It's just bird's eye, darling. You can buy it in any of the standard supermarkets. And it's actually, I'm just putting a bit of this salt in. It's the ancient lake salt that I like. And the quality of the stream is much better. I'm not sure. So one of the things that we've been trying is, I like to try new things, is I'm using a streaming platform during the week so that I can automatically stream to the Facebook page and the couple of groups. And it seems to be that sometimes it's better and sometimes it's worse. What I did do, this is another thing, was I realized my computer was full of junk. Just files, photos. I'm not very good at cleaning as I go. So I just had I just cleaned out everything. I just deleted just about everything. And I thought, well, if it's really important, I know I can always get it. So I actually think that part of the improvement is the emptying of my phone and all that sort of stuff. Sound back, not sure. Maybe the interference was at my head. Facebook very live. Oh, very clear. Oh, yay, hooray. Okie dokie. So I whack this stuff in. So the other thing I'm going to do right at the end is add in a few spinach leaves because I do like a bit of greenery. Good. Give that a bit of a stir. Good. So the key again to cauliflower rice, and I won't leave the lid on too long, is for it not to be watery. And that is the problem with the microwaving of it. We don't want watery risotto. That would be disgusting. Do you know what? I am going to put in both sets because it's... So again, another whole packet. Great way to just, you know, if you've got a big family to feed, then your cauliflower can spread out that protein. But as you know, this is our motto. It's very crunchy. Pick your protein. Lisa Marie, we're cooking risotto. It's a low-carb thermo-foodie recipe that I have just adapted for the real food, real fast mechanism. And the real food, real fast is instead of cooking takeaway, you have these like emergency supplies in your freezer. So you have your emergency veggie rice, because I know that people will be going, oh my God, so much plastic. Honestly, if you use it just some of the time, it's fine, and it is less harmful to the environment and certainly less harmful to your health than buying takeaway. Interestingly, one of the biggest harms to our environment is ill health, because we know that if you end up needing to go to hospital, the amount of disposable stuff that's required to look after you, the amount of single-use items, the amount of electricity, the amount of the carbon footprint of looking after an ill person is enormous. So you know what, every now and then when I kind of go, oh, I'm feeling a bit guilty because I bought cauliflower in plastic, I just go, yeah, but I'm also saving the environment by not getting sick and needing hospital. Now, if you need hospital, don't feel guilty about it, but this is a way to kind of go, you know what, offset. Okie dokie. Good, this is looking great. I reckon that my other stuff will be just about ready in the oven. So I'm just going to go and grab that. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in just a sec as I get out of the oven. This looks good. So this is, for those of you who missed as you came in earlier, this is the old-fashioned bit of a TikTok phenomenon early last year or late last year. And basically you just put into the oven, I've used a slab of goat's cheese, you can use feta. I like the Danish feta if you're going to use your feta. And you mix it up with some, well, tomatoes, and I've put in some mushrooms. So it looks just like that. There's also a bit of garlic in here, which I am just going to take out because I don't want the garlic skin, and I'll snip that off in a minute. And I'll just grab a fork and basically mush it up. And this is all your flavour. So I sprinkled this stuff on it. And I'm just going to have a look and see how much is. Now, interestingly, I don't actually, you know, it's funny, I've cooked this. I don't actually love roasted tomatoes, to tell you the truth. I don't really know what it is about them. They kind of, I don't like them. I don't know, but anyway, look, they're in, they're good for you. I haven't let them get too soft, so they haven't split open. Some of them have, but not all of them. And that's going to be part of the creaminess of the risotto. So there we go. Now, I reckon this is probably done. Yep. This looks good. Good, I'll just give it a bit more of a stir. And again, I look and I go, oh, it probably needs a few more herbs. I'll just whack a bit more of this stuff in. Just cook in. So, a couple of things that I just want to quickly chat while I'm stirring this in. Still a tiny bit of bashing going on. Definitely give it a go. Your husband loves it. Yeah, it's good. A couple of things I'm really interested to know is, for, again, those who are doing the sugar challenge, I know some of you are long-term low carbers, but I also know that lots of people are new into the idea of really looking at labels, just checking your things. So one of the things I wanted to really draw attention to is Australia's health star rating, which is just a complete load of shit. So the idea of the health star is that it is meant to give you the healthiest option of processed food. But it's confusing because when you look at it, you go, oh, well, this stuff 4 stars must be good. This stuff 5 stars. Well, it's the healthiest of basically processed food. Every now and then you'll have some whole foods that seem to end up with some stars on it, like cream, which will have 1, versus Nutri-Grain, which has 4.5 or something ungodly. You'll have ice creams that have 4, and you're thinking, how does that have 4 stars? Well, it's the best of that section. So they're not actually transferable, but it's so confusing. You wouldn't know that, would you? When you look at something and it says 5 stars, you go, oh, health stars must be good, but it is ridiculous. So anything where you see health stars, just in your mind, transfer that to shit stars. They are rubbish. It's just complete processed garbage, and it is the so-called best of the worst lot. But here's another tip, right? In order to meet the requirements for your health stars, there's little things that they do to add into it. So, it'll be like how much protein does it have? Oh, that, and that gives you a certain amount of points. How many vitamins does it have? And that gives you a certain amount of points. How much fiber does it have? And that gives you a certain amount of points. Well, do you know what? They've now invented essentially fake fiber. It's chemically constructed fiber, and it puts the health star rating up. It's not real fiber like you find in vegetables. It is made in a factory. So polydextrose is the number 1 of these, and I mean, it kind of makes like polydextrose. Dextrose is actually glucose. It's not actually chains of glucose. It is a chemically constructed fiber that isn't absorbed, so it doesn't go to your carb count per se, but it's not real food, and that puts the health star ratings up whenever they add anything like that. Inulin's another one, and what these fibers do is they ferment in our gut, and for a lot of people who have gut pain, they give a lot of people have irritable bowel syndrome. These are the causes. These fake fibers that just ferment there. They're not absorbed by us, and they just sit there, blop, 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 blop. So just really, really be very mindful of these claims on the packets of anything. Yes, Rebecca's written they make her so sick. They do. Oh, Rebecca. So Rebecca, who's watching tonight, is the star of today's podcast. Again, I hope you had a listen to it. She was wonderful, and I've very much enjoyed interviewing her. So if you haven't had a listen yet, please go have a listen. And as you know, I'm always asking for a little favour, which is if you can, if you've got the technology, and I understand it is sometimes a bit complex, if you can give us a little review, either write it, or even if you just put some stars, what it does is it keeps us in the podcast charts above all the woo makers, and that's what we want to be doing. So, oh, this is looking good. I'll tell you what, this is enough food. This is enough food for about a week. This is going to be good. Okay, so I'm just going to let that stir through a bit. Now, 50 mils of cream. This is just a plain old cream with some gelatin in it for the thickener. Normally I just buy plain cream, but they'd run out. Your podcast, do you access them on the website? You can, Lee, or on any of the platforms. So it's on Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on Google Podcasts, any of the normal platforms where you can listen. Or if you don't do that, you can certainly just zip over to our website and have a listen there. It's certainly there. Yeah, I reckon the meal could be frozen. I forgot to put in my mushed up garlic, so I'm just going to do that now while I'm chatting to you guys and then stir it through. So, yeah, I reckon this will be a freezable meal, Cheryl. Well, that's what I'll be doing, because I don't think we're going to get through this much. Just my hubby and I, because the vegetarians won't eat it. So, yeah, it's super helpful for us if you could write a review. Now, the key to writing a review is on Apple. You can do them on Spotify, but Apple is the review writing place. And what you do is you click onto the episode. You don't click onto the episode, you have to go right back to the show. So it says go to the show, and then you scroll right down to the end. They don't make it easy, that's for sure. So I'm always very grateful when somebody has, because I know since they don't make it easy that somebody has gone to the trouble of navigating this sort of super hard thing. God, this garlic smells good. Beautiful. So I'm just mushing up a bit of that. That was meant to be mushed up with the cheesy mix earlier on. Push that in, and then got a couple of last minute things I'm going to do. I'm going to stir through big batch of spinach leaves, because I do always like a bit of greenery. Well, give that a bit of a stir, and then right at the end I'm going to stir through some Parmesan. And that, my lovely friends, is Risotto, which seriously, it is looking, well, you can see me stirring it through on the thing. I'm watching myself on the side here. It's kind of weird. Good, everyone else can hear. Beautiful. All right. And then the last bit, I actually bought some homemade, not homemade, I bought a block of Parmesan, and then I found this one sitting in the fridge that needs using. So I thought, all right, you know, my favorite thing, use up something from the fridge. So that's about 100 grams of Parmesan. I reckon I can turn this off as I just stir that through. And my lovely friends, this, I mean, seriously, can you see it? It looks so good. So good. Beautiful. It's got protein, it's got some veggies, it's got natural fiber, it's got a little bit of fat, it's got everything in here that will sustain you, nourish you, and look after your family. You can choose whatever veggies you want. This would be really nice if you want some pumpkin. I don't eat a lot of pumpkin anymore, but if I did, I would certainly be happy to have pumpkin with this. You could do it easily with sun-dried tomatoes through there, which is probably what I'll do next time, because I don't, as I said, I don't love roasted tomatoes. Almost a one-pot wonder, Sam. I did have to get the tray out for this stuff, but yeah, look at that. It looks and tastes magnificent. My lovely friends, that's it for this week. So if you're on our mailing list, I'm going to apologise in advance, because there will be quite a few emails coming through. I thought that I had banged on and on about the no sugar challenge and that I was boring everyone stupid. And then on the very last email where I sent it out on Sunday going last chance, somebody said, I didn't know about it, I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. So I just think, I've really just got to try and find that balance between making sure everyone knows what we've got on offer versus boring the pants off you with just continual offering. But my loves, so if you are getting annoyed by our moves, please don't unsubscribe, because when we can't send you anything, just ignore it and wait till we come back. Lovely friends, well, that's got to be my first, your next dinner. What's the serving amount? I don't know. Again, how hungry are you, Jean? This is the whole thing. We have been taught that you have to have this amount of food or whatever. But if we get back to our natural satiety signaling, then you will eat the required amount of food. So what I do is I use a bowl and I put a bit in, and I'm mindful to actually make my serve smaller, because it is easier. It's easier to eat more than you actually need if it's in front of you. But the deal is always, for me, if I'm hungry, like properly hungry, I never restrict my food. If I'm hungry, that means I need the fuel. If I'm just eating because it's nice, or I'm eating because I'm bored, or I'm eating because, it's there, that's a whole different kettle of fish. But if you're hungry, do not, under any circumstances, restrict your food if you're properly hungry. A little bit different from if sometimes you might have a wave of hunger and then it comes and goes like in 5 minutes. That's different. But if you're eating, you're sitting there and your brain goes, I'm still hungry, like properly hungry, then do not, please. Your body needs fuel and nourishment, and that's how you look after it. All right, beautiful peeps. That's it for tonight. Went on for a bit, but I was having so much fun. See you all. For those of you who are watching, see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. for some more no sugar tips. And I will catch up with you soon. Oh, one more little snippet that we've got on offer for you is Dr. Mary is doing a masterclass. She will be back to do this masterclass next Monday on getting off the diet roller coaster, understanding why we fall off the wagon, And yes, it will be wonderful. Beautiful. All right, my lovelies, talk soon. Bye for now. I'm trying to work out, I reckon, how's this? I reckon, as long as you don't mind my close-up, I reckon I can